The snow was falling slowly, as if there were all the time in the world. Billy Mercer shoved his hands deeper into his coat pockets and quickened his pace. The cold bit his face, and he could already imagine the kettle on the stove, steam rising through the empty kitchen. 42 years old, retired history professor due to health issues, single, no children, no hurry to get home, but desperate to escape the cold. Billy always chose the quietest streets, not out of fear, but preference. He liked the silence, the echo of footsteps on the wet pavement. He was a man content with his own company. He turned onto Elm Street, the last corner before home. That's when he saw it, a cardboard box. It was leaning against the low wall of an abandoned house, partly hidden behind a lamppost. Large, with its flaps folded inward. Billy walked past it 3 more steps, then he stopped. Something wasn't right. The box had moved. He was certain, or almost certain. He went back slowly. The snow continued to fall, sticking to the soggy cardboard. As he drew closer, he heard it, a faint sound as if someone was trying not to make any noise. "Hello," he called, feeling slightly ridiculous. "Is someone there?" Still silence, but Billy knew someone was there. He crouched down. Slowly, he lifted one of the flaps of the box. 2 pairs of eyes stared back at him, large, frightened, shining in the darkness. 2 little girls, very small, and they looked alike. Very much alike. They were huddled together, trembling. Their clothes were far too thin for this cold. No shoes on their feet. Twins. "Hi," he said in the gentlest voice he could manage. One of the girls lifted her chin. She looked to be about 5 years old. "We didn't do anything wrong," she said. "I know," he replied. "Are you both okay?" "We're cold," answered the other girl. They were identical. "Do you live here?" Billy asked. The girl who had spoken first pulled her twin close. "We live here," she said. "Our mother left us when we were very young. Nobody wanted us." The words came out simple, direct, like stating that the sky is blue. "What are your names?" "I'm Maisie," said the one protecting her sister. "This is Tessa. I'm Billy." He took a deep breath. "Do you want to get out of there? Will you call someone?" Maisie asked, fear in her voice. "No," he said. "I won't call anyone. My house is just down the street. It has heating and food." Maisie looked in the direction he pointed, calculating. "How long for? How long can we stay?" "As long as you need," he said. Maisie took Tessa's hand. "Okay," she said, "but if you change your mind, we'll come back." Billy helped the 2 girls out of the box. They walked to his home in silence. When he opened the door, the warmth escaped like a hug. They stepped inside slowly, huddled on the sofa, ready to bolt. Billy made hot chocolate and returned with a package of cookies. "Have you eaten today?" Maisie shook her head. "Yesterday. I don't remember." They ate the cookies slowly. Billy made hot chocolate in 2 small mugs. "Is it good?" he asked. "Very good," said Tessa, speaking for the first time since entering the house. "How long have you been on your own?" "A long time," said Maisie. "Our mother left us when we were very little. We don't even remember her well." Tessa nodded. "We've always lived on our own, always here on the street." They told him about Grandma Rose, who gave them food and let them sleep in her backyard until she died. They told him they already knew how to take care of themselves. "Do you want to take a bath?" Billy asked. They exchanged glances. "Is there hot water? And soap?" Billy led them to the bathroom. He heard the water running, quiet giggles, soft whispers. When they came out, they still wore their filthy clothes. Billy hadn't thought about that. "We'll buy you new clothes tomorrow," he said. "Does that mean we'll still be here tomorrow?" Maisie asked. "If you want." The 2 of them smiled in unison, that identical smile. Billy improvised beds on the living room sofa. "Do you want me to turn off the light?" he asked. "No," said Maisie too quickly. "In the dark, we couldn't see who was coming." "You don't need to hide here," he said. The drawings of memory. 3 days passed. The girls still hid food, still jumped at noises, but something was changing. On the morning of the 4th day, Billy woke to a different sound, laughter. Quiet, careful, but laughter nonetheless. He found them on the living room floor with the colored pencils he'd bought. "We were drawing," said Maisie. Maisie's paper showed a large tree with 2 small figures sleeping beneath it. "That's where we used to sleep sometimes," she explained. Tessa's drawing was a bridge with 2 figures embracing underneath. "That was our favorite place," Tessa said. The bridge kept out the rain, and it had an echo. "They're your memories," said Billy. "And memories are important." Drawing became their routine. They drew their life on the streets, the places they slept, how they got food, the bad men they ran from. After a week, the drawings began to change. Fewer frightening places, more houses, more smiling people. One day, Tessa drew a large box with two figures hugging inside. "Our cardboard home," she said. The figure outside was him. "You drew me. You were kind," said Tessa. "You didn't yell. You didn't tell us to go away. And you brought us here." Maisie made a different drawing. 3 figures in the kitchen, 2 small and 1 larger, all smiling. "That's us making pancakes," Tessa explained. Billy slid that drawing to the front of the folder. It was the first drawing where they looked happy. One afternoon, Maisie called him Uncle Billy. "Because you take care of us," explained Tessa. "Like an uncle. And we like you," added Maisie. "I like you, too." The black limousine. It was 3:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday when Billy heard the soft rumble of a different engine. A black limousine was parked in front of the house. The back door opened and a woman stepped out. Young, blonde, wearing expensive clothes. "She's coming here," said Maisie. The doorbell rang. Tessa hid behind the sofa. Maisie stood up, tense. "Don't open it," she whispered. "People like that, they're dangerous." "I'll just see what she wants," said Billy. He opened the door. The woman smiled, a nervous, forced smile. "You're Billy Mercer. I'm looking for 2 little girls, twins, 5 years old." Maisie and Tessa. She took a deep breath. "Those girls, they're my daughters." "Your daughters?" Billy felt as if he had been punched. "Yes, I'm Nina Carver. And I need to see them." "How did you know they were here?" "I've been searching for them for months. Private investigators, they saw you with 2 girls." A noise came from inside. The girls had heard. Nina's eyes filled with tears. "Maisie, Tessa," she called, "it's me. It's Mommy." Billy turned to Nina. "They don't want to see you. But I'm their mother. I have the right." "Where were you?" Billy's voice was harsh. "When they were sleeping in a cardboard box in the snow." "Where were you when they were searching for food and trash?" "You abandoned them." Nina began to cry. "I know I did wrong things. I know I ruined everything, but they're my daughters and I love them." Billy went inside. He found the girls hiding under the blanket. "Is that her? Our mother, the one who left us?" Maisie asked. "She says it's her. Do you want to see her?" "No," said Tessa. "She left us. Why would we want to see her? She won't take you anywhere," Billy said firmly. "I promise. I'll be right here the whole time." The girls slowly emerged. They stood behind Billy, using him as a shield. Nina knelt, trying to reach them. "We don't remember you," said Maisie. "Why did you leave us?" Maisie asked. Nina broke down. I was going through a very difficult time. And I thought you'd be better off without me." "We weren't better," said Maisie. "We were alone and hungry, and cold and scared." "Can I hug you?" Nina asked. "No," said Tessa, hiding further behind Billy. "Are you happy here?" Nina asked, looking at Billy. "We are," said Tessa. "Uncle Billy takes care of us." "I'll go," Nina said. "But can I come back another day?" "We'll think about it," said Tessa. Nina looked at Billy. "Thank you for taking care of them better than I did." "I care because I choose to care," said Billy. Every day. The bridge under construction. 3 days later, Billy called Nina and arranged a meeting at a cafe. She explained everything. A difficult life with a violent partner, being kicked out by her family. "I thought if I disappear completely, he won't have a way to find me. And if I disappear, the girls will be safe. I thought someone good would find them and care for them better than I was able to." "You never gave up searching for them." "Never. I hired detectives. I searched for years." Billy made a decision. "How about discreet visits? There's a bench in the park. You could sit there. Just sit. Don't try to talk. Just be present." The next day, they went to the park. Nina sat on the bench, reading. The girls played, keeping her in their field of vision. This routine continued for a week until Maisie drew a sketch, 2 girls in the center, a woman in the background, and a bright sun, and placed it on the bench next to Nina. "She's including me for the first time," Nina said to Billy. "Does this mean she's thinking of forgiving me?" "It means she's thinking," said Billy. "And sometimes thinking is the beginning of everything." The following week, Maisie approached Nina. Ma'am, do you remember what I liked when we were little, before we were alone? You liked butterflies, Nina said without hesitation. And you liked when I sang that moon song. I remember the moon song, Maisie's eyes shone. Tessa asked, do you remember us dancing with our hands? Nina moved her hands in smooth, flowing motions. Tessa instantly copied, joy shining in her eyes as she rediscovered the memory. We still laugh a lot, said Maisie. Uncle Billy says we laugh like little birds. You always laughed like happy little birds. The open door. The next Saturday, the girls made an announcement. Uncle Billy, we want her to come to our house. Not for a big dinner. Just for a snack in the backyard. Nina arrived with fresh strawberries and homemade cookies. It was awkward at first. Nina shared stories about their babyhood, Maisie trying to bathe the stuffed bear, Tessa eating toothpaste. The girls laughed so hard they almost spilled their juice. Nina visibly relaxed. In the middle of the afternoon, Nina gently combed the cookie crumbs out of Tessa's hair. Your hair's grown so much, she said. You comb better than Uncle Billy, Tessa said. When Nina was getting ready to leave, Maisie asked, can you come back next Saturday? If you want me to, Nina said. We do, said Tessa. And the next Saturday, Tessa ran to Nina as soon as she saw her. Did you bring more stories? She asked. And for the first time, Tessa let herself be fully embraced. Forever and ever. 2 months later, the Saturday visits were the most anticipated time of the week. This Saturday, Nina was nervous. Girls, she said, carefully, I want to talk to you about something very important. I wanted to ask if you'd like to come live with me and Marcus. Tessa instinctively moved closer to Billy. Uncle Billy, will you disappear? Never, Billy said, his voice firm and full of conviction. I will never disappear. I will always be your Uncle Billy forever. He will always be part of your family, Nina said, looking at Billy with deep gratitude. He's the uncle you chose. And heart's choices are forever. Can we meet him first? Maisie asked. They spent the next weekend at Nina and Marcus's large, cozy house. Marcus, a kind man, showed them the library and the garden with a swing. He's really nice, Maisie said on the way home. He listens when we talk. And he knows how to use funny voices when he reads stories, Tessa added. A few weeks later, they told Billy, Uncle Billy, we think we want to live with them. But only if you promise again that you won't disappear from our lives. I already promised, and I promise again, and I'll promise as many times as you need to hear. On moving day, the girls hugged Billy tightly on the doorstep. Thank you for everything, Uncle Billy, said Maisie. Thank you for not leaving us in that box that night, said Tessa. Thank you for having changed my life completely, he said. Will you keep coming to see us? Tessa asked. Forever, Billy replied. Forever and ever. He stood on the porch, waving until the car disappeared. He entered the now silent house and sat on the sofa beside Luna the doll. The house was quiet, but it wasn't the empty silence as before. It was a silence filled with precious memories, with love, and with promises of more encounters. 8 days after the move, the doorbell rang. It was them, Maisie and Tessa, huge smiles on their faces, Nina behind them. Uncle Billy, we missed you so much. They shouted, throwing themselves into his arms. I missed you, too. They came inside. They hugged Luna the doll. They spread new drawings on the table. And Billy realized the silence in the house was gone. Not forever, but for that moment. And there would be other moments. Their family had grown. It hadn't broken. It had expanded. And the silence when it returned would never again be a silence that hurt. It would always be the silence that waits. The silence that knows love always comes back. Always comes back. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next ones. Leave a like because it helps this story get recommended to more people. See you in the next.